Imagine somebody you see all the time. Could be anyone, really. Your neighbor, maybe. Someone at the store. A parent from school. Just ordinary. Blending right in. But what if that totally normal outside, what if it was hiding something, truly dark, decades of secrets, unbelievable crimes, maybe spanning 50 years, all hidden? It was added. Well, that's the chilling reality we're diving into today. The case of John Arthur Getro. Outwardly, just a guy. Husband, dad. Even a Boy Scout leader once. Work security. Looked completely normal. But underneath that, a predator, a serial killer, actually, whose violence stayed hidden for, well, decades. Just unsolved horrors echoing. So our mission here is to unpack how this hidden life finally got exposed. We're looking at the sheer persistence of cold case teams, right? And the incredible power of DNA tech, how it brought justice. Even after all that time, it starts with this moment, this arrest he absolutely never saw coming.
It really is a story that shows how even, decades of careful deception can just unravel. Science marches on, investigators don't give up, and sometimes these tiny details, preserved from way back when, they turn out to be everything. The key.
That's a great way to think about it. Okay, so picture this. It's 2018, Hayward, California. John Getro, he's 74 by now, living a quiet life, you'd think. He's home, probably doing, I don't know, normal retiree stuff. No clue what's happening right outside his door.
Exactly. Just total suburbia. He's inside, maybe, watching TV or whatever, completely oblivious. Meanwhile, law enforcement is outside. They've been working this cold case, for years, generations of officers maybe, and they have this plan, a ruse.
Yeah, the tactic was pretty clever, a bit theatrical almost. Undercover cops go to his house, and one of them pretends he bumped Getro's car.
Yeah.
Right there in the driveway. You can just see it, can't you? Yo, sir, terribly sorry. Looks like I might have scraped your car here. Mind coming out to take a look?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's a classic move. Simple, low-key, designed to get him outside without making him suspicious. Give him no reason to panic or, worse, destroy anything. So he steps out, probably just annoyed, thinking it's a minor hassle, a little fender bender, completely unaware.
And that's the moment, right? He's outside, unsuspecting, and boom, the trap springs.
Yeah.
Detectives move in, quick. Suddenly, the 74-year-old guy who's dodged this for so long is in handcuffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a stark contrast. Decades of hidden crimes ending right there on his driveway. Kind of unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just luck, this arrest. It was a result of years, decades really, of painstaking work. Revisiting this cold case that haunted people, passing the files down, the key was preserving that evidence, even when the tech wasn't there yet. That dedication paid off.
Incredible. But how? How did DNA from, 45 years ago suddenly point right at this guy? Where did that breakthrough actually start?
Right. So the turning point really happened a bit earlier. A cold case unit decided, let's look at Leslie Murfreesoff's file again. She was just 21, a Stanford law clerk. Lots of potential. But in 1973, she was strangled, murdered. And her case, stone cold for 45 years. Just imagine, 45 years of no answers for her family. A real gut punch for investigators, too.
And the evidence, the crucial piece, was DNA. You said it was found under her fingernails.
Exactly, that tiny trace preserved all this time. Basically like a microscopic witness from her last moments just waiting.
Okay, so how did that lead to Getro decades later? What was the technological leap?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. That DNA, carefully saved for nearly half a century, it was recently put into a public genealogy database. Not just, the standard police databases of convicts. This was one of those public ones people use.
Oh, like Ancestry or 23andMe? For finding relatives.
Precisely those. It's called forensic genealogy. They take the unknown DNA from Leslie's nails, upload it, and look for matches. But usually it's not a direct hit. They find distant relatives, third cousins, fourth cousins maybe, people who voluntarily put their DNA in these databases.
Ah, okay, so not the killer themselves, but family members.
Right. Then genealogists get involved. They build family trees using public records, obituaries, census data, social media, whatever they can find. They work backwards and forwards, triangulating, narrowing it down, until they zero in on a specific family line and eventually potential individuals, like Getro. It's painstaking work, but it directly linked him.
Wow. It's just amazing how science can reach back like that, unlock these old mysteries, give a voice to silent evidence. But when they started questioning Getro in 2018, digging into his background, it got even darker, didn't it? This wasn't the first time he'd been violent. There was a pattern.
Yeah, and what's really striking, or maybe deeply disturbing, is how these earlier incidents, clear red flags, they didn't stalk him, he just blended back in.
Yeah.
It makes you ask, what opportunities were missed? His history actually starts way back, 1963, Germany. He was only 18. He was arrested and actually convicted for murdering a 15-year-old girl, Margaret Williams. She was the daughter of a U.S. Army chaplain stationed there.
Good grief. An American kid murdered in Germany. What happened to her?
She'd left a youth dance. She was sexually assaulted and strangled. Just horrific, especially for someone so young.
And the sentence he got for that?
Yeah.
It seems unbelievable now.
Tell me about it. He served just 6 years in a German juvenile facility. Then he was released. 6 years for murder.
6 years. It's hard to comprehend from today's perspective. How could that happen?
Well, it was a different time, different system. Maybe less understanding of patterns, less information sharing between countries. The dots just weren't connected back then. And the pattern continued, disturbingly. Years later, he's back in the U.S., 1975. Another incident. A teenage girl reported that Gautreaux assaulted her, strangled her, threatened to kill her if she fought back.
And again, the consequences seem so light. What happened that time?
He got 6 months, but believe it or not, he only served 30 days on weekends.
Weekends for assault and strangulation after a murder conviction. It's baffling. How does someone with that history just vanish back into normal life?
It really points to systemic gaps back then. No real way to track someone like that across jurisdictions, let alone internationally. So despite these huge warning signs, murder, assault, he just melts back into suburbia, gets married, has kids, gets a job as a security guard, ironically near Stanford, near where these later crimes happened. He just slipped through every crack, hit it all, until the DNA tech finally caught up decades later.
It's chilling. Just chilling to think he was out there living this double life, completely undetected for so long. And the DNA evidence from 2018, it didn't just solve Leslie Perloff's case, did it? There was another connection.
That's right. While he's denying everything about Leslie Perloff, the DNA analysis is telling a bigger story. It didn't just link him to Leslie. It also connected him, conclusively, to another tragic cold case, the murder of Janet Taylor. She was also 21.
And the details there, the similarities are just awful, aren't they? Janet Taylor was found strangled. Where?
In the exact same area, the Palo Alto Hills, just a year after Leslie Perloff in 1974.
Wow. Both young women, both assaulted, strangled, left in remote spots in the same hills, just a year apart.
The parallels are undeniable, haunting. Both cases went cold for over 40 years, just unsolved tragedies. But the same forensic genealogy breakthrough that solved Leslie's case, it solved Janet's at the same time. Linked both victims directly to Gautreaux. Finally, a path to justice for both families.
So after all those decades, justice finally arrived. Delayed, for sure, but it arrived. What were the outcomes?
Yeah, it was a long road. In 2021, a jury convicted him for Janet Taylor's murder. Life sentence. Then, 2 years later, 2023, he pleaded guilty to Leslie Perloff's murder. Another life sentence. For those families, I mean, can you imagine? 45 years of waiting, of not knowing, getting that final answer, seeing the conviction. It must have been incredibly powerful. Bittersweet? Maybe, but powerful. Justice delayed, but not denied.
A powerful moment indeed. But Gautreaux himself, he didn't serve much of those sentences, did he?
No, he didn't. He died in prison September 2023. He was 79. So he escaped justice for most of his life, but didn't escape prison in the end.
So, looking at the bigger picture here, what does this case really tell us?
I think it's a huge testament to perseverance, right? Investigative work combined with these incredible leaps in science. It shows that even when someone seems to just disappear into everyday life, justice can still find them. It might take decades, but it's possible. And while it came so late for Leslie and Janet, their cases are proof that this technology, this relentless cold case work, it brings answers. It brings some measure of closure, which is so vital for families.
And his DNA. You know, it stays in the system, right? Even after his death.
Absolutely. His profile remains in forensic databases, so there's still a chance, a real possibility, that he could be linked to other unsolved crimes. More answers might still come out from his violent past. The search doesn't necessarily end with him.
So we've traced this hidden life, John Gautreaux, from Germany in the 60s to that unsuspecting arrest in 2018, all unraveled by DNA and determined investigators.
It really drives home the impact of these scientific advances. Cases that seem hopeless, totally cold, they're being solved now. It gives hope where there was none. It really changes the whole game for investigations.
It really does make you think, doesn't it? How many other hidden lives are out there waiting for the next breakthrough? What does that tell us about all the unsolved mysteries still lurking? It leaves you pondering, the long reach of science and justice. Unearthing truths even decades later, giving voices back to those who were silenced.